Y'all looking for a cheap ass welder? Come on, I got what you need. Follow me. Alright, so I'm going to go over a few things about what material I use, what equipment I use, and how I use it, just like real quick, because we're going to start posting a lot more to YouTube, and I want to make like a couple series of videos, welding, stainless, aluminum, titanium, and go through all the, flange welding, butt welding, all types of welding, just to try to answer some questions, because I know that I try to find stuff online too sometimes, and there's a lot of good videos out there, but this one's geared more towards like the beginner who is trying to buy the cheapest equipment possible and doesn't have a lot of money to spend. So this is the welder I use. It is AHP Alpha TIG 200 or 220, I don't even know which one it is. 200, yeah. It does AC DC. It does pulse settings, but I don't use any of those. I keep them turned all the way down low. Right now it's set up for stainless. Stainless I usually use on a butt weld, I'll use 30 amps. On a flange weld I'll use around 50, and I'll always have at least 35 to 40 CFH of flow and a minimum number 12 gas cup and a big gas lens. This has a aftermarket torch head on it. It's a number 17, or no, it's a number 9 I believe, but it has a GLS ceramic number 16 cup on it right now, and I use a multi-mix tungsten. I use the multi-mix for aluminum and also stainless. This one is all, like, there's nothing special about this welder. Like I said, it's $800. There's nothing special about it. I use the factory foot pedal. A lot of people don't like it because it slides, but I just prop it up against something. But I like how I can use my toes to control it instead of having to use my whole foot on the pedestal pedals.
Especially in crocodillos there.
Yeah. Crocs are actually way better than work boots for welding because you have more of a feel. Work boots, you can't feel anything. So a lot of people will go to Harbor Freight or they'll buy a Miller helmet that's $300, or Harbor Freight one that's $90. Harbor Freight one has a lens that's about this big. A Miller one is triple the price of this. This is a Weld Coat Metals helmet. You can get them on Amazon or eBay. I get these from a local weld shop. They've got a really nice adjustable, very comfortable headgear and a whole bunch of digital settings. This one I've had for over a year now. The other one I had for about a year and a half. They're about $130, and that's probably, I think that's the best helmet for the money on the market right now, just because that's all I've ever used.
It's survived you for a whole year.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good
They sell a bunch of different lenses, or they sell new lenses. I have some hanging up on the wall right here. You can change them out and it's like a brand new helmet again. The only reason I buy new ones because mine get to smell, like after the summertime you can't weld with air blowing on you, so you sweat a lot, so they smell bad, so I just buy a new one. I bought this from Menards. Carry all my consumables in. Here's a number 20 GLS cup. Here's a 12.
Yeah, what's the difference in them? What's the numbers mean?
So 20 is bigger diameter, 12 obviously smaller. I got a 16 on my torch right now, you can't see it, but the more gas flow, the more coverage you get, the cooler it keeps your puddle. Usually this, you don't really need this unless you're welding titanium. The 12, I'll use that whenever I'm welding chromoly or just standard carbon steel. I use a smaller cup when I'm welding aluminum, because aluminum doesn't need that much gas coverage, and actually you can blow your puddle around if you get too much gas coverage. I only use probably I think I use 16 to 17 CFH on aluminum. I'll use 90 amps on an aluminum 065 butt weld. On a flange weld, I'll use 90 amps. If I'm doing something like an intercooler, I'll use 130 to 140 amps. A lot of people don't know what to clean with. Some people say stuff gives you cancer. I don't know what gives you cancer and what doesn't. But you can use, I know you can use non-chlorinated brake cleaner. Get that from AutoZone, anywhere basically. We get this from Motor State. You can use alcohol. You can use acetone, MEK, anything, the nail polish remover. You can use anything to clean your stainless. I'm just trying to show everybody how to do this for as little money as possible, and that this right here will show you that it doesn't, the welder is not what makes the welder. This, I started with a scratch start welder, and as you can see, this is vibrant stainless, and look how much I screwed it up. This right here is also vibrant stainless, done with a little, I mean, this was a $500 welder, this is an $800 welder. Not much price difference, but I actually had foot pedal control, and see how much better you can get. It doesn't matter how good your equipment is. If you practice and take your time to figure out what little details you need to change, attention to detail is a big thing, because you know what works and what doesn't work. Attention to detail is everything when you're doing fab work. The fitment, the cleanliness, and how steady you keep your hand, how often you dab, how fast you move. You have to pay attention to all this stuff to learn and get better. Without that, a high dollar piece of equipment is not going to make you a good welder. So this is a piece of stainless I just welded for a downpipe. As you can see, I cleaned it, welded it, plenty of gas coverage.
Let's get some sound through it. Can we
Consistent
let's
dab.
get a woo woo through it.
Woo woo! Choo 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 choo.
Definitely soundproof.
Now, with the same welder, same $800 welder, I welded this piece of titanium. A lot of people think you can't weld titanium with cheap welders. Well, you can. And it looks just as good on the inside as it does with the outside. You have to back purge it, but back purging was done with a junk, with a gas or freaking regulator, a junk regulator I found in the trash. As long as you're flowing something through it, you can't flow too much, but as long as you flow a little bit of gas through it, you can weld it. This is a 2,000 horsepower intercooler I just built that I used 140 amps to weld to this core, which is 6 inches thick, and this aluminum is almost an eighth of an inch thick. But as you can see how consistent these dabs are, this isn't a good welder that makes these dabs good. It's about how you weld it and how you get better as you go. The welder is not what's going to make you good. It's all about consistency. I subscribe to a place called 6061.com. I paid $45, and my welds overnight actually went from being okay to being this, which I think is a lot better, way more consistent. This is what I guess you could say my welds used to be. These aren't bad, but they're not as flat and didn't get as much penetration. These are way flatter, way more consistent, and these are done with the same exact machine, but probably these are almost identically a year apart, or exactly a year apart. But that's just like the rundown, the basic rundown of all the stuff you can do with an $800 welder that I got from Amazon. Also, all of the parts that I have were cut with a Harbor Freight bandsaw right here. This is a Harbor Freight. I got this one from Home Depot, but it's the exact same model Harbor Freight sells. And this is a Harbor Freight belt sander. Both of them I use to cut and fit everything that I do. I just bought this jig that's a high dollar piece of equipment. I have not even used it yet. It's an awesome tool. I just haven't done a job that I got to use it yet. But everything I use, my grinders, my face masks, my bandsaw, my belt sander, all of my consumables, my material, all of that comes from Harbor Freight. Once again, it's cheap stuff. A lot of people knock it, but I don't come from money. I've never had a lot of money, and I think our fab work is some of the best around right now, and we're only getting better. I just wanted to show that you can do great work with cheap equipment, because equipment is not what's going to make you better. The attention to detail and fine-tuning not only your skills, but fine-tuning the equipment. Like this, I've been welding aluminum for 2 years now, but just the other day I sat down after I subscribed to 6061 and I practiced welding with different thickness wire, different clean settings, different hertz and frequencies. I just tried everything, different consistencies, different amps. I welded for probably 2 hours just trying to figure out what made the weld better and what made it worse. So it's all about, I think a lot of it is about the passion you have for it, and I'm just trying to help out some people that want to know how to get started for cheap. I actually just sent the link to my buddy Muff the other day. He wanted to buy a welding setup for his home. He messaged me, asked me what he should buy. I sent him the link to the welder, the consumables, the torch, everything you need to get started, the helmet, everything that's going to get you on the right track to actually being able to do your own fab work. I know I can hook you up with, I can tell you, because I just want to help people and inform them that as bad as that is for me killing, it may take away some business from me, but I hope everybody can do their own work so they can truly appreciate how much time goes into some of this stuff. But a lot of people I know don't have the money to pay somebody, so a small investment into some of these tools and knowing how to use them the right way could go a long way, help you, for one, be safer while you're working on your car and while you're racing it, and make your car cooler, better, faster, and just help you in every single way possible. So I might do a few videos on different welding techniques on stainless, aluminum, and even titanium. If anybody has any questions, they can message me on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and I'll answer anything anybody has to ask.